looks like we're just about ready to go. This Burlington team's been ready to go for a while. They're in their white jerseys working right to left, and Ignacio is going to pick up the face-off. He's been an absolute beast as Callum Jones takes a big-time high stick right in front of Roger Nurse. It was at the hands of Connor McClellan. As I said, Roger Nurse with the hand held high. John Zabo, the other official, down in the corner. As the Chiefs work up over center, 6 on their shot clock as Bushi gets it to Ryan Smith to the far side. They were looking there, I believe, for Cashall as it bounced into the corner. Smith did get the shot. Save made by Tyler Smith, who gets the call tonight for Brampton, wearing their purple jerseys, the gold BE, the Excelsior logo emblazoned on the chest, and it'll be a 2-minute high sticking minor coming 32 seconds into the first period. And already some words for Roger Nurse. I thought that penalty was pretty clear. Burlington came out onto the floor about 7:57 or so on the clock as they were getting set for opening ceremonies, which included the anthem. And Brampton, it took them until about 8:02 for an 8 o'clock start as this one gets up top. Welcome back to the lineup, Andrew Q, who gets his first goal of the season on the power play. We were talking to him about the offensive setup before the game. Ignacio filled in again. This time Travis Burton coming off the line into his face. Very physical on Ignacio. This Brampton staff must have watched the last couple games we had. As here's Smith in the corner for Bushi. Up top, just outside the fan. This one escapes Bushi, rolls into the corner. Played there by Pat Walsh as he tries to run after it. Had a shooting lane, elects to pass up top for Smith. His shot made by Tyler Smith. Ryan Smith, number 17 in white. Tyler Smith, the goaltender, number 1 in purple. For those of you keeping score at home. Couple late changes here as Luke Van Scheppen gets the step on Pat Saunders. Pardon me, that's Jacob Saunders. And it was Seth Van Scheppen, my mistake. As Knox gets it at center, and they'll go back the other way. 2 minutes remaining in the period, and it looks like that was a major penalty as it's now down to 3.5 minutes penalty time. Incorrectly up on the board initially, but that has been fixed. So 1 goal off the major out of the 2 they can get. Down in the corner for Bushi. Back up top, Q squares up, and another one saved by Smith. Rolls into the corner, Patrick Cashall. As we call this, we're about 5 days removed from Andrew Q's 21st birthday as well. This will be his final season here in the Junior A Loop. That shot from Q goes off the backboards. A resounding echo throughout Central Arena here in Burlington. Place they've nicknamed the Oven for what will become very apparent in the coming weeks. Already pretty hot here, another humid day in the Burlington area. Shot clock off here for 2:38 left in the penalty. Boudreau just puts it in the corner. Captain Jeff Teat is digging away. Callum Jones now comes in to help out for the Chiefs, and he's going to pick up the loose ball and work out for Burlington. Penalty time down to 2:20. 16:45 left here in period number 1. Couple minutes into that first period, a high sticking major called against, I believe it was Connor McClellan. Sidearm shot, bit of a sub shot on that as well, dropping low arm angle from Bushi. Rises, but not as much as you'd see that rise as it just goes past the hip, it looked like, of Smith as Bushi. But just a sidearm that skips past the hip. We are 5-on-5. McClellan still in the box to serve the remaining 2 minutes of his 5-minute major. Ignacio, rare miss off the initial faceoff, gets it back though. Face-off twig, 3-quarter shot, and a goal. As this draw team continues their work, and this is what the Chiefs team has been all about so far this year, is Anasio back to the dot, 16-19 left of the period, and a violation on the faceoff gives it to the Chiefs here. 3-0. Andrew Q, Chris Bushi, and Justin Anasio so far, as Bushi high steps his way back over center. Near side for Wales. Good active stick check there by Luke Van Scheppen. Van Scheppen leading the charge. Now passes off and they score. I believe that was Jake Boudreau trailing in, and we knew they were going to be quick. It starts with Luke Van Scheppen, and he finds Jake Boudreau. And Boudreau doesn't miss. Anasio, speaking of guys who don't miss, wins another faceoff. Works in on net, takes the shot. Smith with the save. And a late change here for the Chiefs. They want to get their draw team off. Smith into the fray. Walsh with the ball up top. Ball carrier sidesteps his way. Away from trouble. Down in the corner to Smith. And they score again. Buckle in, folks. Two talented offenses, and that's going to be the night for Smith. J.J. Jensen called into action here, 4 minutes and 33 seconds into it, as it's 4-1 here for the Chiefs. Ryan Smith, the most recent goal scorer, down in the corner, accepting the pass from Q, and he's not going to miss. Anasio off the faceoff. Bushi picking up the second assist. Diving attempt there for the ball carrier. Pat Cashall can't come up with it. Here's Teat. First extended offensive set for the Excelsiors in this game. They did have to kill off a penalty early on. As Pedersen's in the corner, huge stick check, sends it flying. Now Austin Hazen filled in by Callum Jones. Him and Jones having words now as Hazen gets up. They'll both get off to the bench. As here's Q back over the top. Bushi kept to the outside. They'll go around the horn here. Nate Braniff wearing the AP number 13, the Justin Huggins jersey. Skips off the back, shot skips off the back glass, up top into the netting. And as Braniff reached for it on the rebound, it looks like he's going to get a delay of game penalty. We've played 5.5 minutes now. And Brampton will set up on the power play. Teat Pedersen in the corner. I believe that's Hazen down on the crease. Big pick in front, Justin Robinson. Teat works around it and scores. It's a little help here from the pick from Justin Robinson. Won't get an assist, but the massive pick coming from the shooter side. Teat around the corner, just named an All-American this year after a fantastic freshman, honorable mention All-American, pardon me, for his work with Cornell in this recent NCAA season. Connolly's up over center in the corner, but all freshmen in scoring in the United States did Jeff Teat. Now he's back up to see if he can lead the Brampton Excelsiors on a Minto Cup run, which will happen on their home floor at the Brampton Memorial Arena. This one off the post from the far side. Kyle Vince is down in the corner this time. As Pedersen sends it to the far side. Andrew Borgatti now for Vince. Here's Teat. He's got Carter Lease in front of him. Plays back for Lease, the last one to touch it. A lot of time and space. And rings it off the shin guard. Teat first one there, though, looking up top for Borgatti. Pedersen has to run in front of the penalty box to find it. Callum Jones on his horse to catch up to Teat. Gets it in front, looking for Borgatti. He's right in front of the crease, and somehow Hebert comes away with the save. Callum Jones able to pick it up, gets close to the hockey blue line before getting off for Q. Pedersen a feeble swipe at him as Smith will now push into the corner. Looking for Bushi. Bushi backs into coverage. Smith has lost his glove and his stick as he goes to retrieve those. Ball goes to the far side. I believe that was Q working into the crease, and Jensen making the save. 4-2 now. 12 and a half, left in the opening period. As a loose ball, big push there from Nick Fulgenzi. Another Buzz AP getting the call up tonight. This is a Burlington team. We talked about Andrew Q coming back, still waiting for Justin Huggins and Andrew Lanchberry to make their way back up north. Seth Van Scheppen to the far side. Big whack there on Pedersen just as he was about to release. He's going to get to the ball first, eluding Jacob Saunders, and then gets filled in by Callum Jones. After sending that shot wide, it skipped up into the mesh, right in front of the outdoor of the Chiefs bench, so Walsh will pick up now for Knox. 8 minutes gone in period number 1. 2-goal lead for the Chiefs, as it was an early exit for Tyler Smith in this one. J.J. Jensen now in net for the Excelsiors. Ball's on the far side, played back here, looking for Mitch Wales. He had to take it on a bounce as Wales gets it back, just skipping past him. And now played back up over center. Carrying the ball here is Adam Weideman. Weideman goes all the way into the crease. Played back Teat, now Weideman in the corner. Captain and assistant working with it. Back down, Vince in the corner. Working out is Borgatti. Looking for Teat. He was all tied up. Teat comes away with it, gets away from Lee. Weideman quickly to the far side. Vince. My goodness, the ball movement there. And that was James Whiteford, pardon me. Beautiful ball movement there. And close to 9 minutes gone in period number 1, 4-3. And now Jesse Legault. And they do give it to Whiteford and Teat. And now Jesse Legault is taking over for Kyle Hebert. So we've seen all 4 goaltenders in this one. We haven't even hit the halfway mark of period number 1 yet. Connor Lease off the bench, quickly into the fray. Here's Teat putting it back into the corner as he looks for Seth Van Scheppen. Far side, Vince. Pedersen up top for Teat. Jeff Teat with it now. His sidearm shot gets caught up in the defender. Callum Jones quickly after it. Jones looking for the outlet for Saunders. And Jacob Saunders ran out of space, so he's got to flip back for Devin Maya. Far side, Kashok backs out all the way to the boards. Kashok with it now, looking for the fast break was Justin Robinson. Didn't quite get to the ball though. And Connor McClellan, some nice work in on the boards. Picks it up and runs down the far side. Q with a shove. Bench asking for the check from behind. I think he did nicely to get that on the side of the arm, even though he was behind the player. Here's Knox. Knox with the ball, back for Andrew Q. Q for Wales now. Big pick in front from Smith as it bounces back towards Knox. Picked off by McClellan though. And reaching for it was Boudreau. Just trying to get it away from Wales, I think. But it's going to end up being a possession here for Jason Knox and the Chiefs. Shot clock down to 20, 9:20 left in the period. Back here for Walsh over the top into the 5-hole. And closing the pads was Jensen. 4-3 score for the Burlington Chiefs. Momentum's shifting Brampton's way though, as here's Van Scheppen. Seth Van Scheppen to Jeff Teat, son of head coach Dan. There's a big slide on the near side for Seth Van Scheppen. Into the corner, pulled out by Burlington. Phil Mazuka will lead the charge down the far side. Back for Nate Braniff. And now Chris Boucher. Boucher, Walsh, Kashok, last man off the bench. Quick peek at him from the ball carrier, and Braniff will go down the far side and then lift a shot. Him and Josh Majeros got tangled up as they both fall, and now Jeff Teat leading the charge. Justin Anasio quickly in on his stick, so he'll give way to Kyle Vince. Back for Pedersen and Van Scheppen. Seth Van Scheppen, pick coming from Teat. Big one opening space. Tried to pass back for Vince. He's got to retreat all the way back to the blue line in his own zone. Quick peek at the shot clock. Reads 6 seconds now. 2 actually as he gets back into the offense. First real test for Jesse Legault since coming in. As he takes that one in the big stick. Swinging stick check there from Pedersen. His stick went cartwheeling and shot from Wales. Too much on it. Jensen got fooled a little bit and that one's going to sneak through. Ignacio called for early movement. Someone whacked his stick on the way by and he was looking for anyone in purple to pay revenge. Here's Pedersen. Back for Whiteford. Whiteford takes a couple big hacks there from Stephen Lee. Back for Teat, the pick and roll now with Whiteford. Standing his ground is Legault. And then sent for a ride afterwards was Whiteford. Up over center on the far side, Devin Maya. Playing back for Cashawk now. Chris Boucher. He's played every game for this Burlington Chiefs squad. He can probably get the name bar out at this point. As Boucher takes top spot. Another about 3/4 release that goes into a crowd. Takes a funny hop on the way out. Boucher going to the crease now. And again, the ball knocked free. Shot clock was about to expire as that one goes up into the screening. And we'll get a whistle and a Brampton reset. Connor Lees, Matt Vince, Jeff Teat. Pedersen calling for it in the corner, a long way away though. So Seth Van Scheppen will let rip into the pads of Legault. And now they'll go to Pedersen on the far side for Vince. Mayo was working over Teat in the corner. There's an Excelsior player in the crease. Nicely done by Vince though. Recognizing and pulling out. 25 on the shot clock. 5-3 lead for Burlington. 6 minutes left here in period number 1. Lease to Pedersen in the corner for Vince. Kyle Vince. Sidearm rip from up top for Teat. It's loose in the crease and then diving for it is Pedersen. And maybe he wasn't diving for it as one of the Burlington players is going to get taken off here. It's been a fast one on both sides of the ball. As Teat will go to Robinson in the corner for Whiteford. Back around the other side. Everyone's touched it now. Wiedemann in the corner. And this is Pedersen coming to take the shooter spot. Legault with the save. It rolls back up for Justin Robinson. Flip pass for Teat after the shot clock resets. Pedersen, Teat, Robinson again in the corner. Whiteford. Teat up top over his shoulder. Played back again for Robinson. Robinson, a bit of a twist at the end of that shot to fake Legault, who was going off to his right, recovered nicely. And then it was dragged back into the crease by Saunders, I think. As the call from Roger Nurse, the ball was going Burlington's way. Penalty down to 1:15. Probably could have killed the rest of that off if they got it up the floor, but another opportunity for this power play line. Here's Teat ripping a hard shot. I think it just skimmed off the post. It's going to go the length of the floor to Jensen. We'll send it back up for Teat. Penalty time down to 50 seconds now. Robinson, Teat, Austin Hazen taking the floor. And the pass from Pedersen. Him and Whiteford parting the waters there for Teat to shoot through, and it still hit somebody on the way by. So Whiteford will now go to Teat. They need a shot, 5 on the clock. Looking backdoor Pedersen. Nicely read there by Jacob Saunders, and he'll get it up over center. 25 left. Will they kill it? No, they'll take the shot. Saunders, it gets in the feet of Jensen. Picked out by Boudreau. Jake Boudreau over top to Teat out of the corner. Pedersen off the crossbar, and it rolls through. Teat picks it up. Pedersen may have been in the yellow paint. Enters the crease as well. That would be a crease violation against Pedersen and not Teat. But as it is, it's a 1-goal lead, 5-4 in favor of the Chiefs. And Ignacio overruns that ball. Remember, he got a violation on the most recent face-off. So now missing one, but quickly pressuring down into the corner following Jake Boudreau. He's going to come away with the ball. 4 minutes left here in the period. It was 4-1 at one point, now 5-4. Again, we've seen all 4 goaltenders in this game. As Boucher has it, they keep him nicely at bay. Over the far side, picked off by McClellan. Odd man rush, Wiedemann takes a shot into Legault. And a big collision here, still trying to come up with it. McClellan diving, pushes to the front door where Josh Medeiros stayed on the floor to pick it up. And he'll now pass off, and here comes the big line. Teat from the half boards, accepts from Pedersen. Connor Lease is there as well. Borgatti, and falling was Pedersen. Played there by Steve Lee. A sidearm pass up for Maya. Devin Maya over top of his man. Gets it through to Austin Redding. Couldn't handle it cleanly. 3 minutes left of the period now as Brampton makes their way back left to right on your screen. From the corner to Kyle Vince, back for Jeff Teat. Legault didn't have to make the save as that one was well wide. Colin Hunt fainted to the bench. Brampton wants a reset here. Jeff Teat will make sure there's one as it rifles off the left arm of Legault and up out of play. Teat, Vince, Pedersen, back to the captain. Whiteford now. Over for Pedersen. Kyle Vince still with it. Looking for Teat, and that shot passes off the mark. Big collision in front of the Burlington bench as Whiteford went by. Callum Jones going for a run, looking back to the left foot spot of Jensen as we near the 2-minute warning here. Brampton with the ball. Hazen pushes to Pedersen. Seth Van Scheppen, Connor Lease. Lease and Van Scheppen, the only 2 lefties out there now, so Borgatti send it to the far side. Van Scheppen with his hands switched there for most of that run. Recovered to make sure the shot got through. And now Brampton controls the rebound on the far side. Seth Van Scheppen. Connor Lease in front of him, setting a pick. Another wide shot off the backboards. Played back here for Pedersen. Clark Pedersen has Saunders on him. Here's Van Scheppen. And Lease in the corner. Pedersen cutting to the net. Takes the shot, and Legault makes the saves. It goes up out of play. Minute 18 now left of the period, and there's going to be a slashing call, I believe, to Ignacio on the far side. Teat telling Lease to keep it outside as they want to get Jensen to the bench and Whiteford on the floor for the extra attacker. Hidden ball play right in front of the Chiefs bench. They all scream that Lease has it. It's quickly worked its way into the corner. Pedersen across the floor for Whiteford. Lease, far side now, and that's off Ignacio. And it will indeed be a slash. So it's going to be a disastrous trip south on the 410-403 combo. 2 teams very close geographically. Always a good game when they face each other. Here's Teat in for Hazen. Shot ends up on the far side. Pedersen playing it off the boards. Big fake of the pass there from, I believe that's Borgatti, as Teat is tied up. Bench wanted a hold, none coming as Teat over for Pedersen. No shot. It will go the way of the Chiefs as Saunders picks it up. Kaschalk one hand to get all the way up, and Teat, big swing of the lumber, and the arm goes high for John Zabo. That's a sound call more than anything, as that was huge. 4 seconds left in the period as Smith tries to spin away. Back into the corner, big hit there. And immediately holding the shoulder as Wiedemann collided with Mitch Wales. Back inside Central Arena, 1:10 left in the Burlington penalty. Jeff Teat gets 2 for slashing, and Ignacio wins the faceoff and works straight down the floor. Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network. Season-long continuing coverage of the Ontario Lacrosse Association Junior A Loop. Brampton Excelsiors in their purple jerseys, working right to left here in period number 2. In on Jesse Legault as Clark Pedersen gets hauled down. Callum Jones shooting it up the floor. Nate Emery, the nice one-handed pickup, goes straight to the net, takes the shot. We are 4-on-4. That is still J.J. Jensen in net for Brampton as Legault now steps to his left to take one away from Connor McClellan. You thought the first period was fast. It looks like they're going to run here in the second. Of course, a lot of room out there on the cement. There's Knox to the far side for Smith. Takes a couple side steps before ripping one wide off the backboards. Knox quickly in on Boudreau right in front of the Chiefs bench. Boudreau is going to pick it up. Hunt after the ball. And Boudreau will pull it out. Penalty has expired for the Chiefs, so the shot clock is off here as Brampton controls it. Pedersen in the corner. Hunt is there trying the triple team. Knox now coming in. Now the fourth member of this Chiefs line, Saunders. And I believe that was Nick Fulgenzi, the first one in there, and there was a violation on the way out. So it's picked up by Brampton. Connor Lease. And now Seth Van Scheppen. Looked like he was trying to get to Borgatti, but a nice switch on the near side prevented that. 5 seconds on the penalty. 2 minutes gone in the first period here. As now Teat steps back out on the floor. Colin Hunt able to bring that up for our first 5-on-5 possession of this second period. Boucher can't hang on to that bouncing ball. Does get it back though as Cashall will fire around a screen and scores. Seconds in. First goal there. Reminder, it was 4-1, 4 minutes in. As they look front door, Andrew Q coming out. Again, making his return to the lineup. The first game of the season for him after NCAA commitments. Running into it here is Connor McClellan. McClellan will go all the way back up top for Adam Weiderman. Pushes far side, Jeff Teat. That goal by the Chiefs makes it 6-4 now. As Teat over the top all by himself, puts it into the corner. Kyle Vince able to pick up. On the far side, Whiteford, now Teat. Teat shoots over the top late in the shot clock, bounces off the boards. Quickly for Saunders, and racing down the far side, shot from Pat Walsh. Looking 5-hole on Jensen, and he's got the paddle down. Big whack up top, Ignacio on Teat. Those two exchanging words now. They go back and collide with each other. Meanwhile, the lefties are playing catch. Played back here for Pedersen, was looking to the corner, maybe a little too cute there. So he brings it off to the boards. Callum Jones will settle things down in his own zone. Crieu. Far side for Mitch Wells. Wells looking for Connor Boucher. Weideman directing traffic as the shot comes right in front of him. Chris Nolan now will posture up on cue as they'll restart on the far side. Lengthy delayed whistle there. Start of this period, another one where the Chiefs were out well ahead of the horn and had to wait a couple ticks afterwards for the Excelsiors to come out of their dressing rooms. So we'll see if that happens in the third. Roger Nurse takes that one immediately and goes right over backwards. John Zabo blows it dead, and the trainer coming out to check on him. Roger Nurse is an NLL official where helmets are mandatory, so good thing he had one there. Normally refs with glasses as well. Notice he doesn't have those tonight, so on a very dangerous play, a lot going right for Roger Nurse over in the corner there. We're back underway as Ignacio wins the face-off around his back to the far side. Quickly via Callum Jones, and right back into it there. Roger Nurse standing in the corner. One flipped off, stick up out of play, and Nurse signaled it was off an Excelsior player. Here's Cashall to the far side for Smith. Ryan Smith looking for Andrew Q. Big whack in front as Cashall goes back after his man. Nicely done there to avoid the moving screen, and it is a good thing because Ryan Smith cuts in behind all of that and takes his second of the game. Another run to start a period for the Burlington Chiefs. Make it 7-4 now in favor of the Chiefs. Ignacio overruns the face-off. They sent Borgatti into the dot that time, and he's going to push it back for Chris Nolan. Nolan, who was ejected from the Arrows game as the shot comes in tight from Austin Hazen. Jesse Legault making the save. Chris Nolan kicked out for a change box violation. A penalty in the change box in our last coverage. That was the Brampton home opener against Six Nations, which is available on JVI. It's the JVI Sports Network, YouTube channel. A whack up top and doubling over here. Another looks like limp arm as the shot goes up out of play. Here comes Robinson just now making it to the bench as the trainer will go over and check on him. Here's Q, and we're going to get a moving screen down low. Didn't think there was that much going on, but the officials saw it otherwise as Robinson continues to get worked on. As the line change comes in front of him on that Excelsior bench. Here's Jeff T. Pedersen looking up top. Weideman back to play for it. Looking for Borgatti. Weideman slips. Ends up in the crease. And a couple extra shoves there as Jeff T steals it away from his man. His shot saved by Legault. Weideman there to pick up the rebound. And more slipping and sliding. And they call interference against the Chiefs. Brampton ball. I believe they've restarted it. Kyle Vince does push it to the far side. A very loud building. Very echoey building, I guess, here this evening as both coaches are very active. No holding call coming here, although the fans and bench of Burlington want it. .13 left in the period, 7-4 in favor of the Chiefs. Played back for Cashall. Knox is holding, I think, 3 players at bay as an awkward collision there. Teat played it off the backboards and goes all the way down the floor. Takes a wild shot that bounces all the way down the floor off the backboards. Boudreau kept it alive. Off the bench is Vince, down to Lease on the crease, and Legault goes with him and makes the save. Played down in the corner, now Kyle Vince again. Vince will cut back a couple more times. Vince dropping his shoulder, and they thought it was still in the stick as that gets chopped out of his hands. The shot comes from T. Skips in, and that may have hit the throat guard of Legault before rolling in the corner. We are 5-on-5, although it doesn't look like it, as Jeff T sends one on net. It goes past Legault. Couldn't come up with it cleanly, and Lease was right there, but coming in to help out was Jason Knox, and now the Chiefs will bring it up over center. Long time for that defensive line there for Burlington, as now Andrew Q will head back into pressure. Wales had to go low to pick up that pass, and that gave just enough time for Jensen to move over. The shot was high anyways. They did reset the clock though, so it must have hit something on Jensen or his net, as it's in the feet of Smith. Now Bushi, that one winged out of his stick, and it will be Brampton ball. Maya working over T as this one comes down the floor. Back for Austin Hayes, and he took a big run as if he was going to let fire. Pass it into the corner instead. Here's Pedersen. Back for Weideman. And T down on the crease for Weideman. This ends up being picked off by Steve Lee. You could hear the call. Strong lefty line there for the Excelsiors. There was a bit of a mismatch as they were following the one man circling around behind the net. Maya has trouble playing this. It's going to bounce all the way back down in his own zone. Maya back to play for it from his goaltender, Ryan Smith, down the far side. Shot clock down to 10 as this is all on the Chiefs clock. Q to his wrong side, off the crossbar, into the rafters, and quickly back down as it hits one of the metal stanchions up in the roof here. Here's Q again. Couple players posturing up in front of him. Shot goes from Cashall up into the screening. Played in the corner. One of the Excelsior players had taken off to the bench. So a brief odd man situation for Burlington. Is now Jensen able to make the save. Flying out of coverage was Boudreau. Not sure if there was contact there or not. As it comes in for Legault, he makes the save, and now T. Big shot from the left side, and Legault stands his ground again. Past the halfway mark of the middle frame, still 7-4 in favor of Burlington. Far side Lease, and someone hung on to Whiteford there. Looked as he was going to cut back after setting the pick. McClelland, a couple whacks to guys as he takes the floor now. Ball in the stick of Wales, and he's going to send it to the far side. Wales up top for Boucher. Chris Boucher takes a couple whacks with Nolan. Now Whiteford is looking for him. As it's played back here, this one off the face mask from Nate Braniff. And Jensen just stands in. You saw the shake of the head. He says he was okay. Proves it as he goes to his right and makes a real nice save. Nifty stick work to get around the first man. Take this loose ball all the way down the floor. Here's Pedersen as he took the floor off the bench. 9 minutes left to play in the period. As Pedersen will get it. Long period here without a whistle as Kyle Vince puts it in the corner. Hazen, T to the far side, and we'll get one now as there's a penalty coming. It should be a slash. I believe it's Maya. Someone blocking one of these lefties as Jensen just realizes it now. 4 on the shot clock as Hazen will lift a weak shot in, and Mitch Wales, I believe, is the guilty party, and it will be a slashing call. And when you subscribe, every time we post our tape-delayed game of the week, it will notify you that that game's up. And, of course, at JVI Video on Twitter. Pedersen, a couple picks in front of him. Takes it all the way to the cage. And Legault able to make the save. But his outlet pass intercepted by Seth Van Scheppen. Pedersen down on the crease, couldn't corral it. Neither can Van Scheppen in the corner. As the shot clock's down to 20 now. Pedersen, Hazen, now T. Back for Van Scheppen, and the last one is Whiteford to touch it. Up top for T. Call comes for the bench. Here's Whiteford. Now T shoots around the screen. Legault makes the save. It bounces right back for Whiteford, and another save quickly made by Legault. Here's Jacob Saunders. They need to get it over the white line in 10 seconds. Callum Jones does that, passing over for Devin Maya. Saunders takes a nice feed, and that one goes high. And almost a big hit there from Inacio. Hazen leaks off the bench. No one with him. And Legault not sure where to go. And Hazen takes it to the cage, and another power play goal. It's now 7-5. And we talked about Burlington's quick start in most of their periods so far this season, but they almost tail off a little bit. That's starting to come here. Here's Boucher. Oh, what a goal. Make it 8-5 now with just over 7 minutes left here in the middle frame. Inacio, and good to see Robinson back on the floor here for the Excelsiors as he goes in with Callum Jones, and a shove there for Jones. Just enough to know he was there, but not enough to be dangerous. Although it was called for interference, it looked like Legault's back foot did come up. The Excelsior bench yelling that at Roger Nurse, but no call. Here's Q to the far side. Smith coming in on Robinson. Played back here for Braniff. And running in again, we've got another slashing call coming here. From Brampton fans and their bench, as we said in that first period, a good Brampton contingent making their way down the 4-10-4-0-3 combination. Oh, there's a huge hit. Jason Knox goes flying. I believe that was Travis Burton making his way off to the right. And an illegal cross check will now be 4-on-4, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. That comes 18 seconds into the slashing penalty to McClelland. So we'll be 4-on-4 extended period here with 6 minutes left to go in the period. Borgatti outside, Pedersen setting a pick for him. Big whack there, him and Saunders having a very good battle as Callum Jones postured up on Teat, held him at bay and then gave Whiteford a shot, thought he had the ball as Whiteford goes down. It'll be an interference call. Back for Teat. Here's Hazen and Pedersen. Couple whacks in tight as Teat hops his way in, gets to the top of the fan, and he'll go in to play peacemaker now, in on Whiteford as well. Coming from Teat, is it just a sidearm shot from up top? Here's Ignacio. Skipped out of his stick. Andrew Borgatti will be the beneficiary. This one all the way down the floor though. Luke Van Scheppen back to chase it down. As Teat comes back over the blue line. Hazen, Pedersen, Teat, Whiteford in front. Whiteford setting the pick. Saunders, the nice slide. Teat spins and fires. Oh, a nifty goal from him as well. Job of sliding over, but Teat just reaches around in that low sidearm shot. Fools Legault. We've got an 8-7 game nearing the final 5 minutes of period number 2 here. Callum Jones hard after this ball. Falling on the play was Adam Wiedemann. Now Maya in a race with it with Boudreau. And they both overrun it. Travis Burton gets there first, but Callum Jones to get there. Over the shoulder shot now coming from Andrew Q, already with one in the game. And that was a nice save made by Jensen down the far side though. Here comes Burton. He slides through the crease after being taken out and goes awkwardly into the backboards. Gets up slowly. We got a goal back the other way. Saunders in transition as still making his way off the floor slowly is Travis Burton. Ignacio to the dot now against Robinson, and Ignacio there to pull out. He gets filled in again. Physical contact pretty much every faceoff for Ignacio. As Pat Walsh gets there looking for the loose ball, and it eludes him and his teammates. As now the Excelsiors will play it up. Hazen to the corner. Lease. Teat. Pedersen open net. Oh, Legault nicely to his right. What a save. Saunders from the floor now trying to play on Pedersen. This one gets sent all the way back up top. Dan Teat. Back to 5-on-5 action here with 4 minutes left in the period. 9-7 is the lead for Burlington. Austin Hazen in the corner. Clark Pedersen now. Pedersen far side Teat. Big posture up there from Seth Van Scheppen. Keep his man at bay, and Devin Maya is going to split the defense now. And early movement from the Burlington bench. Too many men takes that ball away. Just a possession call on offense for those of you still in winter mode. As a big rip finds iron and goes the length of the floor. Jensen out of the cage to play for it as he passes for Lease. Lease to his right, Van Scheppen, Teat, crease, Pedersen. That shot goes wide. Kyle Vince calling for it on the far side was Lease. And the Chiefs recognize and cover that up. Lease does take the pass from Teat, though. Now gives back for Pedersen. Trying to sidestep his way in. Gets as far as the top of the fan, but no further. Looking for Teat on the far side. A big interception here as Jason Knox comes down on his wrong side, though. We'll put it into the corner for Q. And that just hops away from him. into the stick of Jensen. Boudreau finds Teat on the crease. Austin Redding on him. The shot comes in. Legault makes the save. Didn't quite bounce far enough for Austin Hazen. A long bomb pass with a lot of heat on it. Bounces off the stick of Pat Walsh. Couple quick changes coming here off the Burlington bench. Nearing the 2-minute warning here in period number 2. The lead for Burlington is 2. Close to a moving screen there. Brampton wanted the call, not going to get it. Believe that pass was coming to Q. Boucher tried to intercept and tipped it away as it's played back down the floor. Here's Robinson, the twist on the shot at the end, and it fools Legault. To narrow the margin back to 1, 2:01 left here in the period, as that's just a good finish there from Robinson. Here's Anasio. Ball in the back of his stick. That is, again, different from NLL rules. They're only allowed 1 step now in the NLL. Here you can run all day if they let you. Kashok with it will stay in front of his own net. Still with it now as the shot clock hits 10. Looking for Q on the pick and roll. It's going to bounce out for Knox. Q, a nice pickup. He's going to try and muscle his way into the crease. And that shot went wide before it went up into the screening. Q and Nolan having words as they go their separate ways. Trailer on the play, coming through is Luke Van Scheppen. His shot goes through, some pushing and shoving after the fact. Everyone will separate as the ball goes down the floor for Jensen. T jogging it up over the red line, into the corner for Whiteford. Here's Lees. Lees takes a big whack, back for Whiteford. Now Pedersen looking for Hazen, who had gone to set the pick as they get their signals crossed. Now Maya will take it just as we pass 50 seconds left to play. Maya up towards center. He'll put the brakes on there as Robinson will spy him. McClellan joining the fray. Cashall with it now. Q setting the pick in front. Long shot there. Jensen went low to meet it. Hit him up high though. Rebound still up for grabs as it rolls into the corner. Cashall, the first one there. In with Justin Robinson. Big whack in the corner. And we're going to get another late in the period Brampton penalty as the shot rolls out there. It'll be a high stick against Jeff Teat. As the Brampton bench giving it to John Zaba, who made that call down low. Q and Smith up high though. Here's Smith taking the shot. It's wide, and this one's going to find the screen. And Brampton can kill the penalty. 7.9 though. They'll push. Here's Weideman back for Pedersen. They wanted too many men called, not coming. As Legault's just going to hang on, and that will end another fantastic period. As both benches are going to salute these officials off the floor here to end the period, I think. We're setting up for a dandy third period, lacrosse fans. Matthew Carrick in for the JVI Sports Network season-long continuing coverage of the OLA Jr A Loop. And the face-off looked like it was won there by Anasio, but played back into the stick of Luke Van Scheppen. He gets chopped down. This is right in front of our broadcast position, right at center floor. Van Scheppen still comes away with it. The help from a couple of friends. Played back for Seth Van Scheppen, first off the bench. And Brampton is killing a penalty. Jeff Teat in the box. At the end of that second period, shot clock sound, but it should be turned off as Pedersen now collides with the double team. Pedersen to the far side. Stephen Lee first to take him out. Now Colin Hunt joins the fray. Pedersen recovers though. Now gets shoved into the boards, and Hunt and Lee go back at him one more time. This time jarring the ball loose, and that takes the penalty time down to 42 seconds. Back for Lee now. And Knox down the far side. Andrew Q with it. Cashall, the last member of this power play unit to get on the floor. Knox taking top position. Smith. Boucher in the corner. That's Q on the far side. Here comes the shot from Smith, and that hits off someone in front. Shot clock down to 2. Here's McClellan looking for it. And Smith was just going to run off to the bench, recognizing that 30-second violation was coming. Lease with it in his stick, has to get over the white line, does. And the shot clock turns off once again, and this should do it for the penalty as Jeff Teat gets out and returns to the floor. Big collision there as again Whiteford goes down, and Burlington's going to touch up, and we're going to get cross-checking penalty their own. Teat sitting on 4 goals so far in this game, 2 on the power play and 2 4-on-4. Jake Boudreau, Kyle Vince, Justin Robinson, and Austin Hazen, the other goal scorers. Hazen's goal also on the power play. Here's Pedersen taking the feed from Teat. That shot goes well wide of Jesse Legault, who remains in the net this period, as does J.J. Jensen. Burlington, of course, going right to left on your screen, as we've now played over 2 minutes in this final frame. 1 goal lead, 9-8 in favor of Burlington. Here's Boucher over for Cashall. Their shot clock is turned off as they've got 1:20 of penalty time left on the board. Q back to the far side for Cashall. Cashall has it, shrugs off Luke Van Scheppen. And now the bench of Burlington starts to get loud. A couple players fall after a collision. Both, I think, looking for the interference call, none upcoming, as this ball is going to squirt free from Cashall. And he's going to drill into Luke Van Scheppen. They're tied up in the corner as Brampton works out over center with the ball. Seth Van Scheppen late getting to the bench because Luke was tied up again. Big whack there from Callum Jones on Teat. Played back for Robinson. That one a changeup that hits off the right arm of Legault, and it looked like he shook it out a little bit as the clock resets. Here's Robinson and Teat. Robinson up top this time. Takes the shot into the body of Callum Jones, and a big swim move from the big man, Devin Maya. Maya up over center. He's got Walsh with him. Walsh is going to release the shot, and Jensen stands in. 5 seconds left in the penalty. That should do it as we close in on 4 minutes gone here in period number 3. Teat up over center. Bounce pass into the corner for Pedersen. Saunders back on the floor. We are 5-on-5. Here's Kyle Vince. Connor Lease now all the way outside. Draws Austin Redding with him. Teat to Hazen to Vince. Vince around the top, has room, takes the shot. Legault off to his right and low. Comes away with the save. Still just a 1-goal game for the Burlington Chiefs. Started out 3 straight in that opening period. Eventually 4-1 was the widest margin of victory, lead for either team. Boucher gets dragged down into the corner. Him and his defender end up both in the net. Now Boucher's going to give an extra chop as Jensen covered up over the ball here. It's Josh Medeiros, and Medeiros has something to say to Roger Nurse. And now a little bit more. And it'll be a 2-minute unsportsmanlike minor. It will be Q, and now Knox and Smith, the top 3. Boucher down in the corner. Not going to matter, though, as it's up top. Andrew Q, reminiscent of his first goal that he scored on the power play, finds a spot up top and puts it in. Since that 4-1 lead, the 3-0 lead for Burlington to start the game. They have not relinquished it, and now it's going to be a slashing call. You kind of saw this coming, I think. After a couple penalties went Brampton's way, it will be a slash against the Chiefs. Pedersen with it, directing traffic. He wants to go down low, so he'll flip for Borgatti. Pedersen up top for Hazen, lets one fly, and that's wide, and it'll be a slash. And I think they've called Pat Walsh. Since that big start, Brampton's been chipping away. That's about as far as they've got it. Since that point, about 4 minutes into the first period, that's when Tyler Smith was replaced by J.J. Jensen, also roughly where Kyle Hebert was replaced by Jesse Legault. Both of them have been strong since, and as we say that, a shot rifles off the backboards, pardon me, straight to Austin Hazen. He's going to stand in front of the crease. Game for the Excelsiors. The Chiefs also have 3 of their own, 2 of them by Andrew Q. That's now a 10-9 lead. Ball remains up top with Connor Lease. Couple hidden ball plays. Jones goes down. Whiteford's lost his glove on the near side as Kyle Vince takes up the middle. Far side, Pedersen, now Lease cuts back and filled in with Steve Lee, who stands over top of his prey. That one bounced up into the screening. It will go the Chiefs' way as Nolan tied up with Boucher here. Still hard work. John Zabo leans in and says we've got nothing so far. Shot comes in, reset of the shot clock, but first one in is Mackenzie Burke. And I believe this is Travis Burton coming out of the pile with it. It's actually Justin Robinson, pardon me, has 1 goal already in the game. Just like this, make it 2. And it is a tie game, 10-10. Final 13 or so minutes here are going to be setting up for a big finish. Ignacio. The Excelsiors have adjusted to him winning faceoffs. Looked like he adjusted there, but the back check with it in the back of the stick forces the turnover. As now Lease playing back for Hazen. Looking here, Pedersen. Teat with Jones all over him, and then Saunders hard into Pedersen. Pedersen hits the deck, but flipped that one up into the screening. So from out of the corner, the Chiefs will restart. Quickly up for Maya. He finds Knox in stride. Van Scheppen involved down low with Mitch Wales. A lot of individual battles being worked out here in this third period. As Wales tried to send it in the corner for Boucher. Skips past him, and Justin Robinson will be the beneficiary. Boucher gives Whiteford a parting shot as they go to the benches. The Excelsior bench wants the call, not coming as Seth Van Scheppen puts it to the half boards. This is James Whiteford. Looking far side, Austin Hazen. Legault with the initial save. Rebound attempt. Legault saves that as well as it bounced out right in front of Kyle Vince. He's going to intercept the breakout pass attempt now, as Brampton already had their defense on the floor. So they'll take a quick second here to rearrange the troops as Pedersen puts it to the far side. Vince and Teat back here for Pedersen, and he's just going to lift it wide of the net. Off the backboards, it bounces right to the Chiefs, and they'll recover. Boucher. Q and Smith are the top ones. Over to the far side they go now. Big high step there from Nate Braniff, looking for Q. Q has to chase it into the corner. Weideman postures him up. Q able to shake off Weideman, going back for Braniff now. His high shot goes off the boards, back out in front, straight to Weideman though, as Adam Weideman corrals it. Then he'll give for Luke Van Scheppen. Brampton making changes here, 11 left in the period. And regulation time. The far side, back for Jeff Teat. Teat, one-on-one, Callum Jones, Connor Lease coming to help out. Sliding over, Austin Redding, shot Legault the save. Redding with the loose ball. Couple whacks there from Kyle Vince. And Austin Redding will slow things up. Play back for Cashall. Cashall knocks Smith now. Big pick coming here. He was pushed into that man as here's the shot and the goal for Smith. That will be his hat trick. It's just a good finish from Ryan Smith with 10:29 left to go. As Van Scheppen and Wales now hanging over the doors continue their conversation. Burlington up with the ball. Nate Fulgenzi. This one heating up as we enter the final 10 minutes. Knox, Walsh, corner for Bushi. Bushi with it again, and the hole opens up. He goes to the cage. Where's the ball? Jensen down on the line out of Weideman. Roger Nurk says he kept it out. Here comes Whiteford now, up over the blue line. Back for Teat. Whiteford collides hard with the defender. Far side, Pedersen. Here's Teat now. Sends a hard shot off the back glass. Callum Jones was tied up. Here's Whiteford in the corner trying to pick up the loose ball. He was drilled there by Steve Lee, and that's interference. So here's Pedersen. Back for Whiteford. Teat gets pushed back in front of him. Teat and Callum Jones going to work on each other. Far side, Pedersen though. Maya, a nice slide. Now tripping up Pedersen. Pedersen recovers for a sidearm shot, and that one up out of play. And it will be, looks like Burlington possession. Borgatti picked it up, and it looks like Clark Pedersen checking the chicklets here. He's going to go take a seat. So Pedersen may be out for the next possession. Has Steve Lee up top. Pardon me, that's Andrew Q as he cuts back now. Up top on him is Jake Boudreau. All of this 4-on-4 as Smith dipsy-do from the corner in front of his man. Fake tie, goes sidearm around the goaltender. Clark Pedersen, they're going to take the helmet off now and work on him. So he's out for a couple possessions, it looks like. Teat has it up top. We've got just under 9 minutes left to play. It's a 2-goal lead for Burlington now, 12-10. Here's Teat. Into the corner, Van Scheppen, a big swim move there, still tied up. Austin Redding on him. Teat, far side, Hazen. Kyle Vince is going to let him go. Here's the shot. Goes well wide up into the screening. He's picked up by Redding as the penalty box is open. And we'll go 5-on-5. Let's try and keep it there for the final 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Near side, Smith directing traffic. They're going to try the same play, looking same corner. And that time it won't go. Looked like Smith was trying to play for it after he went through the crease. Couldn't come up with it cleanly, though. Here's Q, the first man back on defense. Keeps Jake Boudreau at bay. Now Teat has it, and a big whack for Teat. Into the body, not on stick. His Q is going to go off here. Jensen to the bench. 10 on the shot clock is Teat. And Whiteford play catch. Teat. Hazen, Viaborg, Gotti into Vince. Here's Teat letting one rip, and it's off the shoulder of Legault, and Andrew Q will go off for a slash. His tape delay games or features is loaded throughout the entire OLA Jr A season, as we take you all the way to the Minto Cup, which will be held again at the Memorial Arena, in Brampton. The turf is down, it's beautiful. Not a guaranteed bye for the Excelsiors, as we heard Dan Teat say, as here is Jeff Teat shooting sidearm, and that ball gets caught up in the pad of Legault. Up for center. Played up top, Justin Knox. Cutting out of the corner, here's Smith. Oh, what a play there off the crossbar. Man, all over him. Bushi now hard after his man, as Jensen out to set the pick. And Bushi, I think, might have made a bit more of that than there really was, but here's Hazen. Austin Hazen down the far side, back for Robinson. Justin Robinson, Jeff Teat into the corner. They now work back the other way. Robinson, Pedersen, Hazen. Waiting for the switch up top. Not going to come as the low shot and a late shot after the shot clock. Now Pedersen's going to stand over the ball. A lot of borderline gray area stuff going on here, including the high check in on Saunders. Pedersen and McClellan keep him at bay. Here's a big couple whacks there. Scheppen, the arm almost went up from the check on Wales as the double team works for the ball on the far side. And Burlington has drawn the penalty as Boudreau will touch up. And we've got more sticks down in the corner, and it will be a high stick. And Boucher will have it. Trying to work around the pick from Smith. Kept at bay, will now cut back. Nothing there, Boucher retreats. Boucher will try setting the pick now. They go up top instead for Cashawk. Cashawk still with it. He's got Knox in front of him. Cashawk over for Boucher. Putting a stick in front of that was Boudreau, and shot ends up going wide all the way down the floor to Legault, who's just going to dump it back from whence it came as the shot clock sounds. This will be a Burlington power play now for 1:31. Still 12-10 in their favor with 5.5 left in the third period. Here's Lease. Up over center, tried to go behind his back. Is going to flip for Nate Emery. Emery's going to go and score. And the largest lead since that time. And Burlington has it back again at one of the most crucial points of this game. Legault out of his net. Quickly went for Callum Jones over to the far side as pressure was bearing down on the netminder. Cashawk outside. Cashawk cutting back in, takes the shot on Jensen, who drops down low to make that save. Cashawk in on Boudreau. A big whack. Mackenzie Burke will send it up the floor. Under 5 minutes left to play here in the final frame as a bounce pass briefly eludes Austin Hazen. T for Whiteford. Now in the corner, Seth Van Scheppen. Austin Hazen, he works to the far side now as Borgatti tried to find Seth Van Scheppen on the back door, and it's intercepted by Callum Jones. He'll get to the center line and no further, as now Wills, Borgatti, Smith, and Q come off the bench, and the last man out is Boucher. Chris Boucher to the far side, dancing around is Nate Braniff. Boucher's going to dump it down low as that took the entire shot clock. Big whack there from Pedersen right in front of Roger Nurse on Mitch Wales. No call as he just told him to ease up. Under 4 to go now. Still 13-10 for Burlington. Teat to the far side, Vince. And a whistle as that one goes up out of play. Played here by Nate Emery, the most recent goal scorer. Finds Knox, off the bench. As we're down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Played into the corner, Pat Walsh. He's trying to find a cutter. Q works his way through a couple whacks before finally getting a shot in on net, and it works all the way down the floor. Q had to pay for that shot as now Boucher comes off the floor with his helmet off. So Smith works over. Cashawk had avoided pressure there. No one could pick him up. Not going to matter though as Knox drops down low and puts one home. Make it 14-10 as now momentum swinging back Burlington's way. Here's Ignacio, picks up the faceoff and drilled by Luke Van Scheppen. Austin Redding quickly after him. Everybody wanting revenge as Stephen Lee had his head down looking for that hit. Here comes Jensen. Goalie out, extra man here for the final 2 minutes and 50 second set. 15 on the shot clock. They posture up in the corner. Here's T along with Seth Van Scheppen. Here's Hazen working into the corner. Pedersen now accepting from Vince. Legault with the save. Rebound rolled free, but not quite free enough. Out. So it wasn't quite out of the crease before Austin Hazen picked up. And now Steve Lee will send it back. Wills taken into the boards on the near side. Luke Van Scheppen after Wills right here along the glass. And now Van Scheppen goes after Andrew Q right in front of John Szabo. A whole lot of extra stick work up at center while Burlington moves the ball. And then straight through Nate Braniff, who goes down, and now Luke Van Scheppen's going to grab the face mask of Andrew Q, who shakes his head no. Here's Robinson on the near side. Couple more tangling. Robinson has the face mask of Boucher. Now someone's got Wales' face mask. Can't get a number on that Brampton player. They've already got Luke Van Scheppen. Andrew Q is going in, looks like to play peacemaker. Travis Burton hops over the boards as Wales will make his way off. Leaves his helmet in the corner. Bushi's going to go. Luke Van Scheppen sent down the hallway here as the sticks come out to salute the three men who stood their ground. They've blown it in. Clock not started. And now they blow it in, pardon me. Looks like just one on the board, a 5-minute major. Probably the high stick to Luke Van Scheppen would be my guess. Jeff Teat gone to serve that, as I believe Van Scheppen to the game. A lot of back and forth between the two benches there, in front and behind the glass, as coaches there was a couple 10-minute misconducts handed out as well, as we try and listen in on the PA announcement as well. Here's Weideman backing his way out. Whiteford joins the fray, as does Luke Van Scheppen. Shot clock turned off here. 1:21 left on the game clock. 14:10 left on the scoreboard as well. Whiteford wanted the pass, not coming. So Weideman still has it. To the far side, Jensen sneaking his way through. Robinson with a 10-minute misconduct, and I apologize, but I missed the second one. Looked like that could have been over and back. Officials just want to let this one tick down as the shot clock is running with the goaltender out. Here's Weideman taking a couple whacks, Whiteford as well. Weideman still kept at bay. Luke Van Scheppen, Seth now, as Luke is hit the showers. That hit something at the timekeeper's box. But they're going to let the final 30 seconds tick down here, as it will be a victory, it looks like, for Burlington. Legault going to send it down the floor well wide as Jensen retakes the floor. 20 seconds left, and it looks like these two teams will now let time tick down without further incident. What a win for Burlington. They've looked fantastic all year long, but this was their first major test, as it was a tight one. Steve Lee now tangling, and they're just going to let this one go to make sure things, and the Horn's going to beat them to it, though. Roger Nurse trying to break it up, and this is just going to undress the Burlington player. Burlington Chief fans saluting their combatants. They work to a 14-10 victory, and you could call this one a bit of a statement here in the OLA in the Junior A standings. A reminder to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at JVI Video for notifications when the next OLA Junior A game will be posted, as this will be season-long coverage on the JVI Sports Network.